What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking the best current NFL player from every ACC school. If I have to choose between picking a veteran NFL player that has shown they are good, or a young NFL player that has shown a lot of potential, I will pick the veteran player because they have had time to develop and prove themselves in the league. First, I'm going to rank the best skill player from every school, and after that I'm going to rank the best defensive player from every school. Skill players are quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Starting with the Atlantic Division, first for Boston College we have Matt Ryan. He has been in the league since 2008 and he has had a mostly good career, even winning an MVP award in 2016. Moving on to the Clemson Tigers, it's between Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Sammy Watkins. I picked DeAndre Hopkins. He has been one of the best receivers in the league since 2014, so I think he deserves this spot. The Seminoles are next, and it is Dalvin Cook. His only competition is Jameis Winston, and Dalvin has been more consistent. For Louisville, there is really no question about it, it's Lamar Jackson. NC State is next, and their best NFL player is Phillip Rivers. Moving on to the Orange, it's Sean Riley. The Orange have not really developed many NFL caliber players, so there were not many people to choose from. The same thing happened to Wake Forest, so I chose Scotty Washington. Now to the Coastal Division, which starts off with Duke. I have to give the spot to Daniel Jones because he is one of the only starting skill position players from Duke. Next is Georgia Tech, and one of the only significant players from the Technical Institute is Darren Waller. He had a breakout year with the Raiders, and I think he deserves this spot. The Hurricanes come next, and one of the oldest running backs in the league gets the spot. I think the spot goes to Frank Gore. North Carolina, Chapel Hill is next, and Eric Ebron takes the spot. He had a breakout year with the Colts in 2018, and even though he didn't do that great when he was drafted with the Lions, I think he was very good with the Colts. We got Pitt next, and one of the best receivers since 2004, Larry Fitzgerald, gets the spot. Next are the Virginia Cavaliers, and they don't have many NFL skill position players, so it is Matt Schaub. And now, last but not least for the skill players, we have Virginia Tech. Again, not many skill players, so their best player is Tyrod Taylor. He was a decent player with the Ravens, and a decent player with the Bills, and I think he was pretty good before going to the Browns. Moving on to defense, first for the Atlantic Division, we have Boston College, and for them the best defense player is Harold Landry III. For the Tigers of Clemson, we got Vic Beasley. He was decent on the Falcons, and he is now on the Titans, and I think he'll have a good year. For the Seminoles, I picked Derwin James. He's a good young player for the Chargers, and I think he has a bright future ahead of him. Next, we got the second best school in Kentucky, Louisville. I picked Sheldon Rankins for the Saints. NC State is the next school, and the Denver Broncos lineman Bradley Chubb gets the spot. The Syracuse Orange have Chandler Jones, and I think there's no question about that spot. For the Demon Deacons, it is the Bengals safety Jesse Bates III. Moving on to the Coastal Division, we're starting off with Duke. There are not many significant NFL defensive players, so I picked Breon Borders. The same thing happened to Georgia Tech, so I picked Chris Milton. Miami has a bigger selection, and I picked Calais Campbell. For the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, I picked Robert Quinn, who had 11.5 sacks in 2019 with the Cowboys. For Pittsburgh, I picked Aaron Donald, one of the easiest picks of the entire video. He's a former Defensive Player of the Year and a sack monster. Virginia has a couple defensive players, and out of them I picked Juan Thornhill of the Chiefs. He was having a great year until an ACL injury in Week 17 against the Chargers. Last but not least, we have Virginia Tech, and Kyle Fuller gets a spot. He is the best out of the Fuller brothers, and he rounds out the list. If you disagree with the list, comment what you would have changed. It is entirely possible that I missed a player, and if I did, tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the Big 10.